What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? We back like we never left. Um, One thing I'm always saying, I always say it to y'all. Y'all know that's the slogan we live by. Everything I do it on God. Everything we do it on God. When I do with these two crazy motherfuckers, we do it on God. I am Young Money Bad News, the co-CEO of Star Money Click, the number one rapper in the world, and I am BMC for life. That is 1-5, the co-owner of Star Money Click, the producer, also the number one producer in the world, and he is also the owner of Punish Me Vodka that sponsors every show we do. That is Jimmy two times, the resilient 49er fan and the hopeful Oklahoma Sooner fan, and my brother from another mother. And we are the On God Podcast. How is everybody doing today? Are y'all good?
Not bad.
Good, I'm good.
So welcome to the Sunday for everybody. I wanna start the show off first by giving my condolences to Kyron Lacey, one of the best basically LSU's star receiver. If you
Yeah.
don't know who Kyron Lacey is, he wears number 2. He was the guy that always got in trouble last year for throwing up guns every time he would score a touchdown or get a first down. And they would find him. They would literally act like they was going to suspend him for it throughout the year. But Kyron Lacey went through an issue this past year where he had got into a hit and run incident that had him where he could be facing some serious charges. And I guess I don't want to connect it to that because we really don't know, but um, that's the way it's looking. He took his life this morning. It's really sad because I mean he had really good potential to be one of them greats from LSU like Malik Neighbors and Jefferson and Chase at the wide receiver position. He was a dog. So my prayers is with his family. The On God Podcast family prays for y'all. Just sending well wishes out to them. I just had to get it. I had to get that out first because I woke up to that this morning. I was like, damn, like that shit really fucked me up. I couldn't believe it. Um, so let me move into what we did forget to announce for y'all that we didn't get to touch on, but we're gonna touch on it right now. The college basketball championship in both women's and men's. We'll start with the women. Connecticut put an ass whooping on South Carolina, 82-59. Sarah Strong, 24 points, 15 rebounds. Ozzie Fudd, she was shitting, 24 points, 5 rebounds. The future of UConn looks really bright, especially with Sarah Strong at that big woman position, playing the big man role. Gino Auriemma might be back, and I hate to say that because I was getting happy not seeing him win it again. It was getting kind of fun seeing somebody else win it on a regular.
Yeah.
Um, and what make it even worse is I'm hearing for Wiley, Malaysia for Wiley is supposed to be transferring in the portal from South Carolina, so that might fuck up South Carolina going forward too. Um, Paige Beckers had a decent game. She had about 17 points. We know she's going to the league. Do y'all think that this is a new start for y'all think this is about to open up UConn to start a run again, or do y'all think this was just a 1 year well off type of tour for them, or y'all think they going forward they're gonna be a problem?
No, I think they're going to be.
No telling.
Con's always a problem. Here lately, like you said, they've been getting new blood from elsewhere. With Purdue, UCLA, or USC. South Carolina has been huge here lately, and some of the traditional teams like Tennessee and UConn's been down. But I think UConn's way up. Um, Also, the girls' game is a little more interesting when it comes to tournament time too, because they don't have to deal with the NIL as much with the transfer portal and stuff like that. So I'm wondering how that's going to come into play if it does in the women's game, because if that happens, then UConn may take a couple steps back with some of them great underclassmen that they got may transfer out. But if they stay put, yeah, they're going to be a problem next 3 to 4 years.
No, it's a big deal because old girl from Notre Dame had already transferred to TCU, and she
No,
was one of the best. She was one of the best players in the country.
I
Like,
get that, but it's not as widespread as it is in the men's
well,
game.
I mean, it is now. It's getting there because the women's game is getting very popular, and the players are getting very known. Like a lot of, like, for instance, hey, Haley Van Lith had played for 3 teams in college.
Mhm.
She goes to TCU this year. They lose to Texas. She's going to the WNBA now. 3 years ago, she played on 3 different college teams. So the transfer been going. It's not as publicized because the players that's been doing it ain't all had big names. But now, in the last 2 years, the women's game been so popular that oh yeah, motherfuckers is moving around like a motherfucker, and they getting paid to move too. 2 times, what you think? You think UConn gonna be a problem, or you think USC gonna be a problem for them going forward with old girls still playing?
I mean, UConn is always a problem, on a year to year basis. They've had some down years, when what will be considered for them down years, even though most teams, they'd be like, well, shit, that was a great year. You just didn't win it. But I think the disappointing part about it was when Juju got hurt, because I really thought USC had a really good chance to probably win. Not saying that they was just locked to win, but they had a pretty good chance to do some damage and possibly upset a UConn, with Juju getting hurt so late in the season. Um, I feel like USC is one less team they have to worry about. And then, just like we're talking about right now, the portal, just because it's the women's side, and it don't really get talked about as much. But shit, the motherfuckers be transferring like LSU a couple years ago. A lot of them, you got to think.
Yeah.
What's called didn't even start off at LSU. You know what I mean? She was somewhere else, and then they move around. They just don't talk about the shit. But I get what 1-5 is saying. It's just like when it comes to women's sports in college in particular, it's really like under the rug. I mean, unless it's somebody major, they ain't talking about anybody. Versus in the men's game, hell, maybe those at least to be the 11th guy on the bench in football in college basketball and the 53rd person on the team in college football. They move and they'll put it out there for sports to talk about. So I get it, but UConn, I think they could be setting up for another run. You never know because they look damn good this year. I really would have liked to see a Juju Smith running team from USC actually going up against maybe a UConn for the title. That would have been nice to see, but we'll probably never get to see that because we don't know when actually she's going to be back.
Yeah, that was something we missed out on. So congratulations to UConn. They get another championship. That's 12 for Gino Auriemma. He's a motherfucker. That motherfucker's a winner. We're gonna move over to the men's side. The Florida Gators win 65-63. Young Money wins the NCAA picks between the On God podcast. If y'all didn't know at the time, 2 times it picked Houston, 1-5 it picked Auburn, and I picked Florida. My boys won the championship, even though they're not my team. The team I picked won, but it was a hell of a game. Houston. The thing I'll say about Florida, and I can say this all day long, that Houston blew the game, but I really can't. And the reason why I'm gonna say this is because the 4 W's that Florida got, they was down in the last 3 games by more than 8-9 points in all 3 games. So Florida was doing the comeback kids from Florida on the regular. So I'm not like I can't really say that it's like it's a big deal. But did Houston not finish the job? Definitely. They definitely didn't finish the job.
That last drive was just, I don't know what the fuck was going on. It was almost like they shit on themselves running that last drive.
Well, my thing is, when you coming out, even though he thought Walter Clayton was going to block it, you still shoot it because you want to see if you could put it in the referee's hands. The referee might have called a foul for you. You never know, but you still got to put it up. It don't matter if you thought you were going to get blocked or not. Shoot that bitch because at the end of the day, it's going to always be, what if we would have shot the ball? You never got a shot up. You know what I'm saying? So,
and the refs always get in the way of a game anyway, so you might as well see if you can put it in their hands.
That game was ass too.
It's been a while since I played ball, but if he picked that back up, that's a travel, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
that's why he kept letting that motherfucker. That's why he let that motherfucker keep dribbling. and
Yeah.
tried to
The
block
smartest
out
thing
one
would
of
the smartest thing would have done was to grab it automatically, let the ball get turned over, so that way they can re-inbound the ball with some time left and just
and
possibly
foul
foul and put a
and
foul down.
foul. Yeah,
That's the best he had.
but that's
So
what
they
he
had to
fucked
cut him
up.
out.
He just let the ball. He just let it go out. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't no good.
It was the
Um,
most awkward ending play I've seen in a long time.
for an NCAA championship game, hell
But
yeah.
you know what though? You know though that play in particular, that almost it almost gives me evidence of what I've always said. Only the greats really had a head on when the shit hits the fan. And it's like not that's not no diss to that young man. But sometimes the greats know situations and they don't put themselves in those types of situations when it's time to make a play. And that's just what separates great players from the average or the below average. And like I said, unfortunately that kid got caught in a bad spot. He tried to do he made a mistake and thought he was doing the best thing, but he should have grabbed that shit immediately, let it turn over, and just played a foul game, even without
Florida,
timeout.
Florida, Florida played the play too perfect. That's what it was. Defensively,
Yeah, they had
it
that
was
shit. They had
it
that shit
was
on
it
lock.
was that shit was boxed. Like it wasn't even nothing they could do. I mean, he should have took the turnover, but at the end of the day, and when you really go back and look at the play, I don't like that they inbound to LJ Cryer. You should have inbounded to Sharp and let Sharp come off and let LJ shoot the game winner because he was the hot man. You know what I'm saying? Which leads me into my other question. Um, should Walter Clayton Jr. I'm asking both of y'all, should he be a lottery pick?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
I believe so too. I think he's top 5 for sure. That
yeah,
motherfucker
yeah.
got that motherfucker got range. He can play defense, and he was shooting horrible in the first half, and he never quit on the game though. He never stopped playing D. He never stopped. He had 7 assists in the first half, even though he was shooting horrible. And it was like, damn, but he ain't giving up. Then the second half came, and by the time that second half came, that last 3-4 minutes of the second half, Walter Clayton turned into Walter Clayton, and it was a problem. And I mean, he at the next level, his game translates because if they put him at the 1, he can play the 1. If they put him at the 2, he can play the 2 because he's 6'4". He just don't look 6'4", but he really is 6'4". But his range when it comes to shooting the ball, that motherfucker got a wet ball. I ain't gonna hold you. That boy can shoot that ball, bro. Um, how do we feel about LJ Cryer though? Did LJ Cryer make his draft stock go up with the performance he had, not only in the tournament, not only for the whole year? Because you got to remember, LJ Cryer played for Baylor, so he won the title with Baylor. He transferred to Houston. So did he make his stock? Do y'all think he made his stock going up with the way he played in the championship game? Because he really was the only one that balled out for Houston for real.
I don't think it damaged anything. Sometimes what you've done in the past and the fact that you've actually won something that plays a factor. But also, I like the after workouts after everything's said and done. The pre draft workouts. I think that really tells the tale too, because these general managers really get an eye for you without being in the collegiate mindset. Now you've moved on, you've already pretty much declared that you're going pro. They can run you through their own ringer and figure out if they're the best, if you're suitable for their team or not. So I don't think it damaged anything. Now if he went out there and just shit the whole bed, maybe, but
I didn't say that
nah.
it damaged. I said that it make his stock go up.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, remember, we're talking about up or down basically with that question. That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking
You
about
know,
up. I'm not asking down. I'm saying
are you
the
saying
way he
are you saying you
performed.
improve off of what even more, even more?
Yes.
Well, I mean, either way, like I said, yeah. I mean, I feel like there's no there was no harm in anything being in the situation he was this year versus the previous year. Nah, I think he
I'm
probably
not
went up.
knocking.
I think game experience actually it has improved.
That's what I'm saying. Ask you.
Night night.
Yeah, right. I I think he improved a little bit on his draft stock, man. I mean, I don't think he did, like you say, he didn't damage it, but he didn't really help it either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And plus, basketball is like football is a team sport, and it's more of a team sport than it is with football. you can do a lot more on your individual side of it, and it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
I said, hey, I've seen some of the past come in the tournament.
Can y'all
I
still hear
remember
me?
Lorenzo Charles looked like the truth back in the day, and he ended up being an ass in the NBA. So it happened.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think he hurt it, and I don't think he helped it to tremendously to where he'd be like a number one, number two guy. He'll be
Can
in
y'all
there.
hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you good, man. You just going in and out. I guess you good. You was there, you
I
just went
had
out for a second.
no my phone run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my phone run. It was
Always
the
suck.
old lady. It was the old lady. Yeah, that's why I wasn't talking about his previous years. I was just talking about off of how he performed this year and in the tournament. Do you think his draft stock went up? Not did it
It
go
probably
down?
helped. It
Yeah,
probably helped.
that I had one
It probably
question.
helped.
I wasn't talking about him going down. So shout out to the Florida Gators for getting them another title. That's the third title they didn't had in the past 25 years. They also won back to back in the day when they played Ohio State with Greg Oden, Mike Conley, one of the best Ohio State
You know,
rosters in a long
and you know
time.
he got that big 7'9" boy that redshirted last year. So this year he playing this coming fall. This motherfucker is about as tall as that damn stadium they're gonna be playing in.
You talking about who? For who? For Florida?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's from
Florida
like
got some
Nova
shit going.
Scotia. Yeah,
Florida ain't going nowhere.
that motherfucker's a redwood.
I'm about to switch over back to college football for a second. Shout out to the Florida Gators. They got them a title. It was a hell of a year of basketball as far as college. It was really good, especially the tournament. The tournament on both sides was very exciting. So y'all keep up the good work on the tournament side. I liked it. Um, Ohio State played their spring game yesterday.
Bo
Julian
Jackson was
Saint
pretty good.
Julian Sand looks like a monster.
Hmm.
I already knew Bo Jackson was gonna look like a monster. Um, it's a lot of defensive players I saw that's new. That's gonna be a problem. They got transferred over to Ohio State. 1-5. I got a question.
Yeah.
Um, how do you feel about what you saw? If you've seen anything and if you've seen the highlights or whatever, how do you feel about the team going forward? And then I'm gonna ask you another question on top of this, but I'm gonna let you answer this one first.
Okay. So first of all, a lot of question marks on the quarterback front going into the game, and or the scrimmage or whatever you want to call it. And I mean, there was a lot. Like, they were talking about maybe bringing in a transfer portal quarterback. I've been hearing the guy from Tennessee might be coming up, but Julian's saying he did his thing out there. Bo Jackson did his thing, and to me, it looks like we made the right hire at defensive coordinator. Whether or not we did, it would be a lot to be seen. But I think that they're developing defensive players at a high level now. Whereas under Urban Meyer, we had guys, but we weren't developing the guys like we. I mean, it just seems like it's plug and play. Anybody on the bench can go in there and do the same job. It's really amazing at how Ohio State and the Alabamas and those teams of the world just keep going. They don't fall off one. So I liked what I seen. I thought it was good, and I'm really encouraged, specifically by the quarterback position. That was my big question mark going in. I feel more comfortable.
2 times you said you like the way Bo Jackson looked.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Julian saying too. My question mark is how's the middle of that defensive line gonna look? Because he was getting at him a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's just a scrimmage game, but as long as y'all can have some continuity on that front four, especially with shutting down the run and forcing teams to be one dimensional, I mean, y'all got a hell of a shot to repeat. I like your chances.
Um, to answer your question, my second string was playing. The lineman on the second string was playing most of the snaps. When Sand got in the game, uh, that's why when Kleinholz was in the game, he Kleinholz is big. He's tall. He's 6'4". but he doesn't see the field. That's
Right.
his problem. He thinks run first because he's an athletic quarterback. I understand it, which is really sad because you're 6'4" and you can't see the field.
That shit
Julian
is amazing to me.
Julian Sand can see the field. Julian Sand is just undersized, so he's between 5'11" and 6 foot, but he can throw the ball real well. He can see the field real well. I wasn't impressed by him because I already knew who he was. I wasn't impressed by nothing I saw. I knew Julian Sand was a starter before the year started. So the question marks that all Ohio State fans had, I didn't have because I had already been researching them from last year. I already knew who was coming up next because I'm like, well, Julian Sand was the number one quarterback at Alabama, and Alabama lost him in the transfer portal to us. So you wouldn't have seen Jalen Milroe this year coming up. Him and Julian Sand would have been fighting for the number one position at that school. And 9 times out of 10, even though Jalen Milroe's athletic, Julian Sand probably would have beat him out because Jalen Milroe don't throw the ball well. So when we got him and we got him sitting behind Will Howard, I was like, well, he's a freshman. He a baby, but he got game. Like, I know he cold. So I knew he was going to start. St. Clair is too young. He's still a freshman. We're going to give him a chance to sit, which is smart to me because going forward, he'll have Jeremiah Smith and Chris Henry Jr. as his receivers next year. That's going to be a problem. So, but as far as what I saw, I was impressed by most of it. It is a scrimmage. It's not nothing really major. You could tell the defense has we have so many athletes on defense. It's going to be scary trying to throw the ball on us for real. Our secondary it's going to be an issue. So to jump over into what Todd was saying earlier, Tennessee, it was moving on from Nico. And the reason why they're moving on from Nico is because Nico wanted $4 million in NIL money. Tennessee disputed the money because I agree with Tennessee. What the fuck did you show us? What the fuck did you show us to get $4 million? For one, the schools he has at the top of his list is Ohio State, Oregon, and Colorado as the transfer.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with me is me and Royce was talking about this on Facebook earlier today. I don't want Nico.
No,
And I don't want Nico because I've seen the inconsistency in Nico's game. And I'll go back all the way last year to me being over 2 times house and we watching him play Alabama. And the mistakes he made against Alabama, if he don't make the mistakes, they blow Alabama the fuck out. Mm-hmm. That's how much Tennessee was setting him up to ball out. Like, he had everything he needed. He just couldn't capitalize on nothing. So for me personally, Nico, you can go to Oregon, you can go to Colorado. I don't give a fuck where you go, but I don't want you in Columbus. I really don't want to give you no money just to come. I mean,
He takes a lot of coverage sacks, which is the problem.
He does. He don't see the field. He's a big motherfucker that don't see the field. And I remember the game against Alabama when he threw the ball straight to the Alabama player, and me and you was looking at each other at the same time, like, man, who the fuck was he looking at? Like, I mean, he threw it straight to him though. Like, and I was like, nah, this ain't.
He was the reason why if we had a quarterback, we could have beat him. He was keeping us in the game, and they only beat us by 10 points. They should have blew us the fuck out like Texas did.
He ain't as good as advertised. I mean,
like I said, his last name is indicative of what he's on right now. I am a lever.
Yeah, he's not the one. So I just wanted to talk about that as far as the NCAA go. That's just something I want to punch in on. I'm happy I got y'all idea, your opinion about what Ohio State looked like, and that Nico thing is just funny to me because you literally think you deserve $4 million, really?
But did you look at the contract though? He was still to make $10 million off that had he seen the contract through, and he was going to need that whole length of that contract anyway because he wasn't going to be ready till about his senior year the way he's playing. That motherfucker needed a few years.
And honestly, Heupel was going to be the best thing for you because Heupel likes to throw the ball.
He's like, you know who Heupel is? Heupel came up in the system with us. He was with us and got fired. And in my mind, he's about I would call him a poor man's Lincoln Riley because he played quarterback. Who better to groom you than the guy that played quarterback and won a national title? So he knows what the fuck he's talking about. So listen to your daddy. Your man fucked up.
Yeah, he's true.
I think Ohio State's biggest problem this year is going to be who you throw the ball to. They got so many people on the field, man. Come on. Who's getting the ball?
This is hey, I'm gonna be honest with you too. Hey, 1-5. This is the first time I can say going into a year after a national championship that I'm the most confident I ever been as far as I really feel like we can repeat. Like I really do. Like I don't really have when I look at the Big Ten, like I'm not scared of nobody I don't even give a fuck that our defensive coordinator went to Penn State because your 6'6" quarterback, he can't see the field. He's ass. I don't
How
care
you
about
that tall and you can't see motherfuckers? I don't even understand that, man.
He can't see the field. Hey, he be on the field like this.
You're
If he
right.
was, and you know what though? If he was 5'7", 5'8", playing quarterback, okay, I can see. But when you can see over the whole line and see the whole field, but you can't see the field, what the fuck are you looking at?
You the same size as the lineman and can't see the field.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me.
You know, I think my guy needs some glasses, man.
He needs some goggles. Fuck some glasses.
That motherfucker. He needs some telescopes.
Horace Grants. He needs to be on the field with some Horace Grants on.
Some blue blockers.
Them 2.0 Horace Grants, and then let him go out.
Listen, or he needs some blinders like the horses wear, motherfuckers, where he can only look.
No,
he can only.
No, you know what he needs? You know what he needs? He needs some chaps because he's ass.
He ass as fuck, bro. And that's why I was like, all right,
he's ass. The receiver ass until Penn State puts some shit on offense other than a running back.
Because all they got is running backs. That's it.
And you know what's so crazy? He's only an inch shorter than Brock Osweiler, who also couldn't see the field. And I'm like, do you wear your helmet on backwards? Is that why you can't see the field?
He is Brock Osweiler.
Real tall and couldn't see the field was Dan McGuire. You remember him?
Yeah, Dan McGuire played for San Diego State. Yeah, that was fucked up.
6'6" quarterback in the NFL. He was ass too.
There's no way you can be that fucking tall and can't see. But right. You just remember this. I want to put this name out here. Y'all don't know. A lot of motherfuckers might not know. Remember I said Max Clare, tight end transfer from Purdue is going to be a fucking problem for Ohio State. He's going to be a fucking – y'all think G. Scott was a dog. Max Clare is a problem. Like, he's a problem for real. Shout out to
you know what? I actually noticed it because I was going through y'all roster the other day. I went over to my sister's house after I got done with that dumbass tree and watched it. My brother-in-law DVR'd y'all game, so we sat down and watched it. And I was going through the roster because I was talking to him because you know how crazy my brother-in-law is. Shout out to my brother-in-law Eric, how wild he is about y'all Buckeyes, and he's very critical. But he actually didn't have nothing to say about Sane and everything else. I was shocked. I said until he throws the first pass and it's incomplete or something.
Nah,
but Cole like he's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Way too many receivers in that room.
I'm gonna switch over to the NBA real fast. Yep. And then we're gonna get into the NFL with 1-5. And then we're gonna do our shit and we're gonna get the fuck out of here. We ain't really got a long show for y'all yet because the playoffs in the NBA ain't started. The college football is spring games is kicking off and the NCAA tournaments is over. So we gonna drag y'all through the summer. Don't worry. We gonna get y'all together. We gonna drag you.
We ain't got to worry about the Sooners in their spring game. We're not having one this year because we had so many injuries last year. So we just got a walkthrough. That's what they're calling it, a walkthrough.
Wow. The Lakers 112-97 over the Mavericks in Luka's return to Dallas. 45 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. LeBron had 27 and 7. Anthony Davis looked like a shell of himself. The return was what I expected it to be. None that I didn't expect. I expected Luka to go off, but I also expected the Lakers to give him the ball most of the game. So he shot a lot, which they were supposed to let him do. You know what I'm saying? So I can't knock that. But what I want to jump into is I heard Shaq say some shit about LeBron, and I wanted y'all opinion on what y'all think about it. He said LeBron's longevity is what he considers it soft, and he considers it soft because he's playing in the softest era in the NBA history the history of the NBA in general. Do y'all agree with Shaq, or do y'all think Shaq is hating?
I agree from this standpoint. A lot of guys was getting football tackled going up for layups and dunks, and they blew out a lot of knees and ankles back in the day. It was a lot more physical that way. Would he still have a long career in the NFL or NBA back then? Probably. He's a big dude. Now, I don't know if he would have been that big in the 80s and 90s. You know what I mean? That wasn't a thing back then. You had Karl Malone, and that was it. But I mean, he might have a point, to be honest. I'm not, I don't like playing those games with that. What he done then and there, this, that, and the other thing, because we don't know. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree with Shaq. And I grew up on the 80s and 90s. And here's the thing, and I'm sure everybody on this panel will agree. We don't hate LeBron. I definitely don't hate LeBron because he played for my team one time and helped bring 2 titles.
Hold your beer, sir.
You say what?
Hold your beer. I hate LeBron.
Okay, well, he hates LeBron. But I don't hate LeBron. But he catches a lot of flack and it's self-inflicted because of his actions and some of the things that he does. Now, I did see a clip on YouTube the other day, which I thought was interesting, where he kind of threw Eddie House under the bus. And if anybody knows, Eddie House was a great scorer at college, ended up being a pretty solid role player in the NBA for years. Um, he basically, when it came time to talking about the fourth quarter and not having enough during those championship runs in Miami, he pretty much said he didn't have enough to win and to beat Dirk when they played Dallas that second time when they lost to him that first year he was there. And Eddie House was like, I know you ain't talking about me because I didn't play in the fourth quarter. You was there, but you weren't there. So he basically was just like, man, come on, bro, you had enough. You are who you are. So this is the storyline for LeBron his whole career. So Shaq has a definite point because just like we talk about, when they talk about Bird, Jordan, Magic, they got all those amazing stories about the shit they was on and the shit that they did. Legendary shit. We ain't got no stories about LeBron. So yeah, he is fucking soft. We seen Karl Malone basically end Isaiah Thomas's career with an elbow. Fucked him up. If you did that shit nowadays, you get suspended about 15, 20 goddamn games. Hell, if you point your fingers toward the goddamn opposing team sidelines, you get fined. So yeah, you can't foul hard and play. I'm gonna be honest with you, if the NBA went back to man-to-man defense, I think scoring would go down so fucking drastically. It would just be crazy. You know what I mean? I think the jump defense is everything. It makes it soft. So yeah, LeBron is fucking soft. His career has been soft. And like I said, I'm not saying this out of malice. I'm just saying it for what it is. And yeah, if he would have went back in the 80s and 90s, his whole game would have been different. So we don't even know if we see the LeBron that we see now. He'd still be a big dude, but I mean, hell, Odin Polynice was a big dude.
That's why I in those arguments. Like LeBron got on McAfee and was talking about Giannis would have this and that. No, he wouldn't, because he wouldn't be used the same in the 70s.
Yeah, Giannis would have been playing in the post, and the way his game is, I don't know if he'd be as good as he was. He'd be a score. I think he'd probably be able to score a little bit.
Guys, they wouldn't be the same athlete. They wouldn't have the same body build. They'd be looking like me out there.
Robert Parrish. Maybe look like Robert Parrish.
6'7", 300 pounds. They wouldn't be as athletic. You know what I mean? That's just... Yeah, a Corvette from the 60s, it looks nice, but it don't run as good as a Corvette in 2025. You see what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's been an evolution in the NBA. And, I like I said, I think Shaq has a legitimate, thing there with the injuries and stuff like that. And, I mean, it's just hard to tell if he would go 20 years. I doubt it. I mean, I thought it was really odd to see Kareem go as long as he did. But that's the only way LeBron got any of these records was just because he just outplayed motherfuckers. You know what I mean? If you live on Earth 150 years, yeah, you might have a little bit more money than the guy who lived next door to you. You know,
1-5. What? Don't do that. You can't say that. His fans don't like that. They don't like it. They don't like when we use facts when it comes to LeBron James. We have to lie. We can't say he played 20 years. We can't say. Listen, this is what I learned about LeBron fans, and this is why. See, 1-5, you hate LeBron. 2 times he don't hate LeBron. I hate LeBron's fans, and I'm gonna tell you why.
I hate LeBron.
LeBron's fans, they stretch the truth. Mm-hmm. If you say a fact, they'll say a lie, but they'll try to oversaturate you with lies about him to the point where you kind of start listening to it going, do I believe this shit? Like they try to maneuver you into believing everything they say about him when you watch him and you know the fact finding of how his game is and what he's done in 20 years, you know the shit don't line up. The lines don't line up with him. So he's not as advertised as what he think he is. And
the numbers don't lie when it comes to the shit he's on anyway, especially in the playoffs. Let's just get that straight.
Real basketball fans know when you watching, and the eye test to tell you everything. There's nothing exciting about LeBron James's game. It was only exciting when he was young, and when he was young, as soon as he got old enough to stop being as athletic as he is, that's when you really started looking at him going, this the boringest shit I ever seen in my life, because he couldn't shoot the ball for shit. He just started being able to shoot in the last 5 years of his career, which is sad. So that took you 15 years to actually learn how to really shoot the ball. You couldn't really shoot free throws, because you didn't want to shoot late free throws during the game. So, I mean, it's like they make so many excuses for him. I don't even entertain it no more. I'm the type now, I'm a Laker fan for life, but when I watch the games, I can't wait till he get the fuck off my team. I'm just tired of hearing about it. It's oversaturated. But as far as Shaq goes, Shaq, I agree with you. And the reason why I really agree with Shaq, because Shaq, you played and you dominated, and you're a dominating force. So we'll give that to Shaq.
And remember, Shaq played against him for the last 7 years of his career.
Yeah, but he didn't. That wasn't a real Shaq though. So I don't.
I know. I'm just saying, but he actually saw him in his youth. He played against him in his youth.
I'm talking about he played the real Shaq. LeBron wouldn't even be the LeBron he is right now.
No, I ain't talking about that part. He was actually out to the witness that shit from the best point of view.
I know what you're saying. Mike Malone gets fired.
Yeah.
Calvin Booth, the GM Calvin Booth gets fired. And supposedly the reason why they got fired was over Russell Westbrook.
Oh.
He wanted to start him. Calvin Booth, the GM, wanted him to start. Mike Malone didn't want him to start. But also there's a thing coming out of the Denver Nuggets organization, whispers that a lot of the players felt like Mike Malone was showing favoritism and a lot of like catering to Westbrook. But if you watch the games, it really didn't look that way to me. I felt like he was doing Westbrook exactly the way you're supposed to do him. He was bringing him off the bench. He was giving him minutes, and he would sit his ass down.
He's old Westbrook now. He ain't no starter Westbrook no more. That's nuts.
But I don't know what the real truth is. But to fire your GM and your coach 5 games before the playoffs start is a bad sign. And all I'm gonna say to Denver Nuggets is y'all better pray y'all keep Jokic, because that motherfucker gonna leave. Because Mike Malone was his dog. I'm gonna be honest, he fucked with Mike Malone a long way. So I just want to put that in the air. I know a lot of people know it already, but we just want to put that out there. Let's jump over to NFL. Before you do your thing, 1-5, I got one question for both of y'all. Who do we think Shedeur Sanders will get drafted by after he did his workout at Colorado at his pro day, and the media actually finally start praising him and Travis Hunter for their pro days that they saw? Do we still look at him as he's going top 5? Or do y'all think he's going top 10, top 15, or just top 20?
Well, I think from a standpoint of need, I feel like he shouldn't get past the third spot.
I'll be there in
But
a minute. I'm
from
doing my podcast.
but the way the situation is
But
occurring, the fact
so
that Derek Carr just pretty much is probably about to have to sit out the whole year. It wouldn't shock me if New Orleans didn't make a move to try to get up to go get him because there's really nothing out there. And without any quarterback, because you can't go back into next season with Rattler at your quarterback, and there's really nothing out there, and you're not going to be able to get Aaron Rodgers because we don't even know if Aaron Rodgers even wants to play. We don't know what the fuck Aaron Rodgers is doing right now. He'll just tell us when he tells us. So New Orleans, I think, is the they're the one thing in our situation right now with this draft that could throw everything off. So I can almost expect a trade up. And I think a couple of these teams that are unsure about Shedeur Sanders, whether they're showing their hand or not, are probably willing to move out of that spot to retain more assets to help build on some of their futility and let somebody else take Sanders just to make sure. Because remember, if you draft a quarterback that high, it can set you back years. I know because Trey Lance set me back years.
So, I agree with you, James. I think a team will draft him that we're not expecting to draft him because they're further back in the draft. And I think that team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're going to make a move up to either that first or that second or third spot. They're going to give away what they need to give away, and they're going to get Sanders in Pittsburgh. That's my gut feeling. I don't know that's true, and I haven't heard anything about that. But Pittsburgh needs a quarterback desperately. Desperately. They need somebody to come in there and lead that organization, and they're not going to do it with retreads. And that's what they've been trying to do. And I think that's played out. I think they know it's played out, and I think they're going to do what they got to do to get somebody in there that they feel as if they can go the long, go years like Big Ben did for them. And I think that's a surprise team to keep an eye on draft day that might make a big move, like at a big splash.
I agree with you on that part.
The word out of New Orleans is they're going to try to reach out to Aaron Rodgers. That's the word so far. So Aaron Rodgers is not off the table when it comes to New Orleans right now.
No, he's not. But we don't know what the fuck he's going to do.
I'm just telling you what the reports.
No. I heard the same thing. I heard the same thing you heard.
I don't know what I don't care what he does. I really don't.
No, me neither. Me neither.
This ain't about him. This is about Shedeur. So, me personally, if you in the top 5 and you don't take Shedeur Sanders, you're a fucking idiot.
Especially when you need a quarterback. You need a quarterback.
That's just. I'm just gonna leave it like that when it comes to these picks. You're a fucking idiot. The reports out of Pittsburgh is
if you're an idiot. You
said what? You said what?
Chances are, if you're drafting top 5, you got idiots running your program. You know what I mean?
The word out of Pittsburgh is that Mike Tomlin is not against Mason Rudolph starting the whole year.
I heard that too.
He is actually co-signing that. So, like I said, Shedeur Sanders should not leave the top 10. If Shedeur Sanders leaves the top 10, all y'all are fucking idiots. That's all I'm gonna say. It ain't. No. Ain't no twist to it. It's just exactly what I said. He shouldn't leave the top 5. The top five. All 5 of you motherfuckers need a quarterback.
So I don't believe Mike Tomlin for one bit. And here, I don't believe that he wants him to start. But I think he's going to do what a good coach does, and that's play the players that the people head up above his pay grade.
This came out of Mike Tomlin's mouth.
No, I understand it came out.
This is a report. Like,
I understand it came out of his mouth, but what I'm saying is the head coach has got to coach who he's got. And I don't think he's if that's who he's got, then he's going to have to go with him.
You ain't got no choice.
That's his ideal situation by any stretch of
yeah, because there ain't shit else out there.
I think Mike Tomlin is tired of the fans thinking that they can predict what he does.
Yeah,
and he don't give a fuck about what they think, and I think that's why he's saying.
Is there a coach under more scrutiny year to year than Mike Tomlin? Like, let's face it, dude. I'm a Bengals fan. I hate the Steelers.
A coach that goes to the playoffs almost every year with 10-win seasons under scrutiny. Ain't that shit crazy?
It is. That's nuts, ain't it?
Get the fuck out of here, man.
That's insane.
I don't be understanding it at all. It don't make sense to me. Mike Tomlin's a great coach.
Tomlin's
Mike,
coach in the NFL, bro. Top 5. I mean, and that's arguable. He could be 1 or 2 to me. You know what I mean?
No, he's definitely top 5. I would. That's it. That shit ain't even up for discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't last that. You don't last that long in the NFL if you ain't good, and you've never been under 500.
Nah.
I just
Hall of Fame coach. So
1-5. Take us.
I'm right on that. If Pittsburgh does jump up, ESPN better hire my ass. That's all I'm saying because I'm better.
The problem with them jumping up is they don't have nothing to jump up with unless they want to get rid of one of their best players. And I don't really think they can afford to get rid of one of their best players for a rookie quarterback. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it.
Watt did this number the other day. So what that means, I don't know. But
I can't. Because I don't. Who you gonna give up? Because you gonna have to give up somebody great, and you ain't gonna want to do that. They ain't gonna want to do that.
And they ain't trying to do no 3 number 1s. You don't want to do 3 number 1s.
Nah.
Trust me, we just did 3 number 1s. We're just now getting back.
We'll see.
They're not giving up that receiver. They're not giving up that receiver because they want that 1-2 combo at receiver for real.
Right.
Whether people like it or not, they want that because you need that in this league. You gotta have 2 weapons out there now. There ain't no one guy.
No.
That's why Dallas so sorry because Dallas got one fucking guy. They throw the ball.
It is easy to defend them.
Yeah, that shit garbage. They ain't gonna do that shit.
1-5,
take us into this division for the week.
Yeah, let's go into these divisions, man. We're gonna go over the AFC West and the NFC West because those were the Chiefs made the Super Bowl. So we're gonna do the NFC West first, just because their teams did not make the Super Bowl. But we'll start with the Rams. What do you guys think about the Rams? What do they need to do to get to a Super Bowl, get back to the playoffs, all that good stuff?
Just retain everybody they had and keep building continuity. That's it. Get that offensive line healthy.
They retained everybody they have. All they got to do is stay healthy, and they picked up Devontae Adams. So if they stay healthy, they're gonna be a problem. Period.
Yeah, I think they just need to add a little bit of depth at wide receiver. 3-4 guys. They definitely got the starters at wide receiver. Just add a little bit more depth at that one position. So if an injury happens, you're not decimated by it, or you got to rely on one guy. And then maybe add up the middle of the defense. You know what I mean? Defensive tackle, linebacker, safety.
They ain't even gonna have to do that. I'm gonna tell you why. Their defense is one of the top 10 defenses in the league, and they young as fuck. Like they are super young.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's basically rotational pieces and just build.
Yeah, because they got Jared Verse, and Jared Verse is a problem.
Right. I actually think the Rams win this division next year.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So what do we think about the Niners? This is 2 times team.
Where do I fucking start? Do we have enough time for this shit?
Nope, we don't.
No,
we don't.
I got shit to do.
I'm gonna tell you this much.
Yeah.
Until this Purdy saga with this contract is solved, and I think we need some more depth in running back because we damn near was playing me at starting running back at the end of the year. We got to fix our offensive line, even though Kyle Shanahan swept him down. There was nothing wrong with our line. Our right tackle, Colt McKivitz, he's a backup at best, but he's going to be starting. You know, like we're really doing a whole lot. We might bring in a couple players in the draft, and that's about it. A wide receiver situation is all over the place. We're going to need some help there. Defensive line outside of Bosa, need some help there, especially up the middle. Our linebacker situation, since we didn't keep Greenlaw, need some help there on the Sam position. Our secondary is actually our best spot. That's really we really just need some backup players there and just draft for depth. But yeah, it's a whole fucking mess. But oddly enough, and this is the weirdest shit I heard, I was watching NFL, whatever that show is on NFL Network, and they're predicting us to win the division with the shit we got going on. I said, all right, well, I don't really, I don't really care for that. I just want to I just want us to fix some of this shit for the future. Since you didn't want to spend any money, you wanted to hold back and work on your soccer teams. And I get it. You spent a lot of money last year and you didn't even make the playoffs, so you don't really want to invest anymore until you start getting a little younger and get some of them bad contracts out of there. So we'll work anything we do next year, as long as we win at least 6 games and look better than what we did last year towards the end. I'll live with. I ain't even mad at it.
Uh, my turn.
Yep.
One word. Rebuild. Go ahead.
Yep. I agree.
I ain't got nothing else to say.
Yeah, they got to.
I only went into it like that because it's my team. Other than that, I really didn't want to say the shit I had to say.
I knew you was gonna go there. I'm not saying all that extra shit because what else? I mean, once you start getting rid of your star players and key positions and key players, motherfucker, you rebuilding. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, they call it what they want to call it, but that's what that shit look like to me.
Hey, if your off season was an emoji, it'd be this one. You know what I mean?
No, it's me on the toilet like this.
That was terrible. I don't see the 49ers doing anything relevant the next 2 to 3 years, man. I really don't. I think I said.
I don't know what the. Hey, I can't even call it. I can't even argue against that because I don't know what the fuck I want to see. I always say it every year. I really don't know now.
Yeah, you need help on the offensive line. You need all.
We just need help. Usually we just need help. Just say we need help because I don't know. Hey, this shit's all over the place.
Who next? Goddamn it!
Exactly. Thank you. Let's just move on because I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry in the car or in my living room.
Let's get into these Seahawks. What do you guys think about Seattle and what they did?
They I feel like they made good moves, but I feel like they got older at receiver, bringing in Cup. I think Jackson Smith is going to be number one, like he should be anyway, because he was their number one all year anyway. I think I don't know. I feel like Darnold is a Darnold to me is an upgrade from Geno Smith. Honestly, that's just me personally. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know he's an upgrade from Geno Smith because Geno Smith is ass. He is capital ass. But I don't. As far as like, I know their defense is going to still be good because they got some pieces. And they're young. They're young. They're not old for real. They just old at that receiver position when it comes to that one side. But you never know. Cooper Kupp could be the new Larry Fitzgerald. He could be in that time in his career where he just becomes the possession guy. And Jacob Smith can, he could do anything. So, and Jigba can do anything. So we'll see. I mean, as far as I look at them, I feel like Seattle and LA, I feel like Seattle and the Rams will be fighting for the division all year long. It'll be between them two. I give the Rams the nudge because the Rams been together for years. I mean, for a little longer. But other than that, I mean, I think the Seahawks will be in second in that division.
Okay. Yeah, I think they definitely need another wide receiver to complement what they got going on up there. They need to get some line strength up the middle. I had a little note here. They allowed 126 pressures up the middle last year, which was the second most in the NFL. They definitely need some guard and center play, especially to help Sam Darnold out, which we know he can either be really good or he can be really bad, So I think that, outside of that, they don't need a lot of help up there. They've been building something solid up there for a while. So I'm excited to see what Seattle does next year as well. So let's get into these Cardinals. My Cardinals. My last year team, the Cardinals.
2 words. Still rebuilding and re-upping. To rebuild and re-up. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I like to see what year 2 looks like with Kyler Murray and Harrison. You get another year, and the running backs getting a little older. They definitely need some to add to that running back room. And I'm just going to have to go with just was said. It's still rebuilding. We don't know what they really are. Underachievement, and if that's even a word, but it's underachievement today. Hey, that's about it. I because that defense is suspect. They added a couple of older pieces, with Reddick and everything like that. I mean, we'll see if he can improve on that because defense is his game anyway.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think they definitely need a wide receiver to complement Marv. I would like to see Luka go there. I think that would be a good compliment. He's a possession receiver. He's a guy that can, he's a utility receiver. One of the greatest to do it at Ohio State. You know what I mean? So I think he'd be a good compliment. But yeah, the Cardinals need a lot. They need a lot on defense. They were pretty young last year, so I'm with news on this. They're going to be fighting you for the bottom of the division next year. Third place or whatever you want to call it. So let's get into
third and a half place, third A and third B.
Third and a half. So let's get into this AFC West. This is going to be a good division next year. I think it's the three that was good last year will be the same three that will be good this year. Should be. So we'll start out with the worst team in this one. Let's go Vegas. What do we think about the Raiders this year coming up?
You know what the Raiders are?
Rebuild. Rebuild and re-up.
That's not say rebuild because what were they rebuilding from? They were never good. So
rebuild and re-up.
I'll say that.
I'll say this much. You speak for yourself. Rebuild and re-up. I don't know what the fuck he talking about, but hey, you're rebuilding when you ain't you have no choice but to rebuild. You didn't let everything go, so that's what you're doing. That's what that's called. When everything is gone, what do they have?
But what did they have before that?
That's they rebuilding. That's what they.
You know what they remind me of? They remind me of when George when the Redskins back in the early '70s brought in a whole bunch of old ass guys and they were called the Overhill Gang and they was making playoff runs. And that's basically what this is. You bring an old ass quarterback, you got all these old ass players around them. You really don't have any future prospects. You got a few spots here and there that you got a couple of decent players that are good for the future. But the only reason why I say is rebuild. Rebuild means you had something built. What did they have built? We haven't talked about the Raiders being somebody in decades. It's been the early 2000s when they had an old ass team with Rice and Tim Brown and old ass Rich Gannon. If they've been rebuilding since 2002, then that's fucked up.
Have they not? That's how long they've
been rebuilding. I think it's just status quo. We just putting people out in the field to run up and down the field and get cardio.
The Raiders have been rebuilding since they went to the Super Bowl. This is a fact. I mean, that's why you can only use one word for them: rebuild. There's nothing else for them. They don't win nothing. They don't go nowhere. They keep re-upping with weak ass quarterbacks. Geno Smith is ass. You basically did a lateral move when you went from Gardner Minshew to fucking Geno Smith. This is a rebuild. This is what you paid your D lineman $100 million for what? To rebuild. Because you don't have no offense.
And waste his career there.
That's a rebuild. That's what they are. I don't even like talking about them. They ain't even worth talking about.
Nah, this is too long to be talking about the Raiders.
Shit. You can switch on. Go to the next team. 1-5. I'm cool. That made me sick. That shit made me sick.
That's on that because I agree with everything you guys said.
That shit made me sick, man.
The only thing we know for sure is Pete Carroll loves the big bruising back.
Fuck Pete Carroll.
We know he'll do.
I can't stand Pete Carroll.
I'm still shocked he even got a head coaching job. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't like Pete Carroll, period. I can't stand him. With his gum chewing ass.
So speaking of don't like to the Los Angeles Boss.
I don't like him. I don't like him. But they have talent. But in my world, this is my world, because it's the question towards me. In my world, you got talent, but your quarterback
ass. Yep.
When you can't see the field, I can't fuck with you. You can't be inconsistent. You're not gonna win me over being. You can't be 50-50. He's a 50-50 guy.
He's
inconsistent.
This is the Chargers right here, and at the very end, it says you need to draft a running back, but you probably should draft a quarterback because dude is not it. Dude is not it.
He just ain't the guy. You can't one weekend come to play and you play somebody sorry and you shit on them. Then you come back the next weekend, you play somebody decent and you look shitty. Man, I can't. I just don't have no faith in that boy. He's the most overhyped 6'6" quarterback, and he give me Josh Allen vibes. But at least I can give Josh Allen this. Josh Allen gets the job done, even though Josh Allen to me is not the best thrower of the ball. Like the media try to act like he's not really the best thrower of the ball because he runs a lot of shit in the end zone for real. But Justin Herbert is what Justin Herbert is. He's a pamper to me. He does not move the fucking needle for me. He just doesn't. So as far as the Chargers go, every other position they have a lot of talent. A lot. I'll give them that. They went and got Najee Harris for their running back position. That's not a bad move, but he's not nothing to me either. He's not that special to me. But when your quarterback to me is a pamper or he's mediocre as fuck like him, I can't. At best, they're third. They're third in the AFC West. This is in my eyes. Third.
Okay. I agree with that too.
They're third. Go ahead. You can go. You can go 2 times.
Yeah. Let's see what 2 times got.
I'll have what he's having.
Yeah. They definitely need to upgrade the offense and defensive lines. I mean, that's their biggest, holes are on the defensive line.
Who gets rid of Joey Bosa but signs Khalil Mack back? How does that even make sense? Like, one of them gets hurt all the time. The other one is always hurt. But you let one go because of money, but you sign the other one back, and they both always hurt. What was you basically signed back who you released? Man, I don't know. They just weird. Chargers weird.
Right.
The Chargers ain't. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Chargers ain't been the same, and it ain't even in the 90s. They have not been the same since they let Drew Brees go to fucking New Orleans. Remember I said that. When Drew Brees
20 years ago
and went to New Orleans and LaDainian Tomlinson was balling, they fucked that all up.
Yeah, they did.
Their first mistake was drafting Phillip Rivers, which is weird to say that, but Phillip Rivers had a hell of a career. But they should have just stayed the shit with Drew Brees and traded Phillip Rivers somewhere else.
Justin Herbert.
You know who Phillip Rivers is? Phillip Rivers is Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Career is Matt Ryan's.
Yeah.
Borderline Hall of Fame, but not
stat heavy and no great wins. None.
Yeah, nothing to really speak of when it comes to the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he won the Super Bowl.
And that 1 year Phillip Rivers played on the torn ACL in the AFC Championship game, but shows toughness, and he's a hell of a Christian, and he knows how to make kids.
Chargers are Pampers.
That's a man after my own heart. Let's go to the.
You said Denver?
Yeah, Denver.
Denver is going to win the AFC West. Denver is loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What Denver did in the offseason defensively is what's going to put them over the top. You going another year. See, this is what's going to work out for Bo Nix, and I'm going to tell you why this is going to work out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, C.J. Stroud had a hell of a freshman year as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
So we all got caught up in it. Oh, man, C.J. looks so good. So he had the sophomore slump, right? Bo Nix didn't come on till late in the year.
Mm-hmm.
So Bo Nix going to have that carryover. He going to have that carryover year where he going to still be good. So we going to be like, damn, he still look good because he gets it now. Plus, he got Sean Payton. One thing I can say about Sean Payton, I don't care if people don't like him. A lot of people don't. But Sean Payton, Drew Brees is Drew Brees, but Drew Brees ain't Drew Brees without Sean Payton.
No.
So you can say whatever the fuck you want about Sean Payton, but without Sean Payton, Drew Brees is nothing. And Bo Nix,
because he keeps his foot on his quarterback's neck.
Yeah. And Bo Nix got that talent and that defense. That defense is going to be a problem in the AFC West. It's
You know what's so crazy?
In the AFC period.
You know what's so crazy? What if these motherfuckers found a way to get motherfucking Austin Jeanty in that offense?
Oh, that's where I'm going. Is the only thing they are missing on offense or on the team period that makes a Sean offense truly a Sean Payton offense is a running back that can run and catch the ball. Like that's all
they
missing.
They let their running back go. Oh boy, Williams with the
Dallas.
Yeah,
because he's too
that's
old.
All
if they get GT, it's going to be a problem. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. They don't even have. They might go to the Super Bowl. Let them get Junkins or Travion Henderson. They're still going to be a problem.
Oh, you know what? And you know what? I was actually going to mention them other ones, but I said just the fact that how dynamic Jeanty is, he'll even run of them either of them three.
The thing Jeanty don't do that Travion does, Travion catches that bitch out the backfield and he can make plays. So if that's the thing people sleeping on. It's two more running backs in this draft that are going to be a problem in the NFL.
3, 4.
There's actually about 5.
Yeah,
5.
It is.
There's 5 altogether, but nobody ever talks about them. And 2 of them.
But like I said, I got Denver winning. I got Denver winning this division.
No, I do.
I can't even argue with that shit.
No, I do.
Because Kansas City got financial problems, and they kind of did some low key shit that we did.
Let's get to them.
Yeah.
Kansas City. Let's get to Kansas City.
Their oldest fucking wide receiver.
No, they're not.
Look at it. Last year was old as fuck. When they get Rice back, and Bucko, the one that just had a problem with his girlfriend, them two make them younger. But last year they was old as hell at wide receiver with Rice out. That's what I was really trying to say. They really need to figure out.
Old as fuck though. They wasn't old as fuck.
They had Schuster. They had Schuster and Hopkins and goddamn.
I forgot about Schuster and Hopkins. I mean,
that was saying.
I remember.
Yeah, that was old. Yeah, that was old as fuck. So I think now that when Rice comes back, Brown ain't old, but he's about to be 30 though, so he's almost there. But he still got a little enough to take. But yeah, they need to figure out their offensive line. They need to figure out what they're going to do with running back because, like I said, Bucko had some injuries all last year and he didn't come back to the end of the year, so they had to bring back Huntley. So they need to figure that shit out. We know they're set at quarterback. We need to figure out if the tight end position needs to be drafted because we don't know how long Bucko gonna play since he's coming back next year. But is it just next year? But it sounds like it's just next year. So they got some question marks at some key spots. They're going to still be there because of who they hike the ball to, and the fact that Chris Jones is just a monster up the middle of their defensive line, and they got a pretty solid secondary. But they just don't have the same weaponry that Denver has right now. That's just how I look at it.
I look at Kansas City's defense will keep them in it like they did last year. Kansas City draft maybe another wide receiver for health reasons. Those guys go out hurt a lot. I don't know what the deal is in Kansas City with injuries at that position in particular, but their offensive line is ass. Unless they do something about that, Mahomes may get hurt this year. Yeah, this may be.
He got hurt last year.
Joe Tooney. They got rid of Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney is who we was killing in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. He's in Chicago now.
Signed a lot of key little defensive players that's been around for a while. I think their defense still gonna be solid. Kareem is coming back. Pacheco is coming back.
Elijah Mitchell.
Rashee Rice is gonna be healthy. Xavier Worthy is a problem as long as he don't have no problems off the field.
Him and Rice.
They're gonna have to draft the tight end for sure. To back, but they still got See, we forgot they got the one boy that was hurt. He played in the Super Bowl. Sky, I forget his last name.
Oh yeah, Sky. It's Sky Moore.
He's still
Sky Moore.
He's still there. Sky Moore's still there. They're still young, but I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised
Mm-hmm.
if they're a wild card team this year.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't shock me.
And because I don't think they're gonna win it. I don't think they're gonna win their division. And I think it's gonna be some AFC teams that's better than them this year.
Remember, they struggled with Denver last year.
Denver got their fucking number.
Yep.
Denver can beat them. Denver fuck around and sweep them.
Yep.
But that's how I look at them.
So
remember, they had to beat them on a last-second field goal, and then they got the brakes beat off them at the end of the year.
So me and News got Denver winning this division. Who do you got 2 times?
Oh, Denver.
Denver. Okay, so we're all 3 on Denver. And then for the NFC West, we all 3 with the Rams.
I got the Rams.
I don't. Hey, my 49er in me will not allow me to say that shit out loud, but okay, what you said.
He wouldn't say it though. I'll just sneak it in there.
I'm not gonna. I can't say that.
So that's our division. That's our division picks for this week. Hell of a breakdown of what we doing and what we think going forward. We're about to get into our side notes and we about to get the fuck out of here because I got shit to do. Right. Love y'all though. I did 2 times last time. 1-5. What is your? Or did I do? Did I do you? Did I go with him last time?
You went with me.
It's my turn this time.
Okay. 2 times. Go ahead. What's your side note?
So, the NBA season wrapped up this year, and what we didn't really talk about on the show is the fact that Jokic finished with a triple-double for the season. He's the only third man to ever do that. And I think the most impressive game that I've seen him have was just about a couple weeks ago where he dropped 61-10 and was it 61-10 and 12 or 61-12 and 10. And I said, this dude right here, man, is trapped in a bad situation, which is weird to say because they had a decent season, but it's the fact that how their coach and general manager situation has been rolling around and then we don't really know what's going on in that locker room. But for him to average a triple-double with all that crazy shit going on, I feel like that in itself is probably more impressive than when Russell Westbrook was doing it for those 5-6 years he was doing it. Because he was doing on some bad teams, he was just there just basically stat padding, which not to take away from Westbrook, that was a hell of a feat. But for Jokic to do this shit under some really weird situations and to really hold down that team and still keep it with his head headed towards the playoffs and in a decent spot without slipping into the play-in, I feel like you got to give kudos to Jokic for that, especially for the season he had and the stats that he put up. He's a hell of a player, man.
Yeah, he is. I ain't surprised by nothing he does anymore. When you are an MVP winner and you win it on the regular, your team relies on you for everything. A lot of people don't really realize the Joker. I think we fail to realize the Joker gets the ball 90% of every play on offense for the Nuggets. So if I'm the 90% offense I'm gonna get all the assists. I mean, you're gonna get rebounds because you're the big man. But it works out. You know, he's hooping. He's having a hell of a year. But Denver was just champions a couple years ago, so it's not like they don't have talent. You know what I'm saying? They
got shit going on.
It just, management happens, shit happens. But you got to remember too, he's a foreigner, and foreign guys when they play sports, they don't really focus on the outside shit. They focus on what the fuck their job is, and that's why I think it's easy for him. Like I don't really think he gives a fuck. I think he just plays because he loved the game. It was like Dirk when they was having problems in Dallas. Dirk still was Dirk. Dirk still give you 40, easy, like. So I ain't really surprised about it. 1-5. What is your side note for the weekend?
So I know I've been beating up on this team up north here lately, but I gotta do it again.
No,
their assistant wide receiver coach Eric Campbell came out and said, and I quote, You go down the list. Go down the list. It's a rich tradition of wide receiver here at Michigan. Rich tradition of wide
What?
He basically compared Michigan wide receivers to my sperm. I got 4 kids. That's how many fucking wide receivers that came out of your college. 4. If that. All right? Michigan, calm the fuck down. You guys are sounding like LeBron fans right now up there in Michigan. Terrible. You have not had a good receiver since Desmond Howard, and he was ass in the pros, okay? He did all this and won the Heisman and all that BS in college. That was it. That was it. Terrible.
Now they've had some solid wide receivers, but they ain't nobody talk about. Nobody like, oh my god.
Solid my
Ricky
ass.
and Bobby.
They had Braylon Edwards,
Poison up there.
That's it. Braylon Edwards. Outside of Braylon Edwards, you can't name somebody solid.
No.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
You don't hit me with no Ty Streets and all that. Hell no. Who
What
was
would I say,
solid?
Ty Street?
I'm just saying, who was solid at Michigan outside of Braylon Edwards?
Now, if you
Outside
want
of
to go
Braylon
running
Edwards,
back,
you just said they had a
Oh, boy, that played for the Giants. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now.
running back.
was on Super Bowl
sorry as fuck. Manningham was weak. Stop.
You guys
Stop
are the
playing
go-to
with me.
offensive line.
Man, Manningham was sorry, bro.
Wide receiver.
Manningham wasn't shit. Stop. Michigan ain't. Hey, Michigan State's had better wide receivers than Michigan. This
That's
is a
what I'm
fact.
saying. Yeah.
Charles Rogers was a dog.
Hell,
Like, no,
Iowa.
bro.
Iowa.
Iowa had Timber White.
Wide
They
receiver.
were
I didn't expect to win in this conversation. So
I don't know
for
why you
obvious
said
reasons,
I mean, you the one said solid, motherfucker. Why would you say that?
I ain't saying Hall of Fame, but I said solid. But they Mario Manningham.
Solid means Mario Manningham was not solid. He was okay, motherfucker. Okay. Ain't nothing out of Michigan that receiver was a dog. What, Amani Toomer? That's about it. Amani Toomer and Braylon Edwards and Desmond Howard. That's it. Outside of that, you can't name nobody else.
Well, the crazy thing is, I was talking about Amari Toomer and you brought up Mario Manningham. I wouldn't even think about Manningham until you said his name.
That's what I thought you was talking about.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Amani Toomer's the only person I could think of. I thought you was talking about Manningham. That's why I said Manningham was.
No, I think it was you, but like I said, I mean, it was solid to okay. I mean, nothing to talk about. That's really what I meant. But I kind of figured.
Solid is solid, and that ain't solid. Okay and solid ain't the same shit. You need to quit playing. That shit, you can't even put that in the same sentence. He's solid, but he okay. No,
hey man, when this subject came up, I expected this, so it's okay.
Fuck all that. You expected my
It's okay.
ass. You the one said that stupid shit. You been watching the fuck you. That's like,
I mean,
hey man.
Hey, I understood when I said one guy. I said one guy. I said they had some solid guys. It depends on what your definition of solid is.
One fact. He said solid, but okay, solid and okay. That ain't the same shit, bro. No. Okay.
I'm just trying to order a pizza over here. I'm just trying to order a pizza.
Solid is
solid. Michigan's had some guys up there that can run a route. That's about as good as it gets. And I ain't saying they could just run down the field and make a cut to the left.
That's hilarious. My side note for the weekend is I'm getting excited about finally we about to enter the NBA playoffs, and it looks like the way this is going, the way basketball has actually kind of got better now at this time of the year. Everybody's looking like they playing hard. I think we're gonna get a good playoffs this year. I really do. I'm really excited about it. I kind of hope we don't get nobody swept in the first round, even though I know it's gonna happen. I hope it don't happen. But I just hope the Clippers don't win no games because I hate the Clippers. That's just me. I hate the fucking Clippers. And Kawhi, I'm gonna be honest. I said this to Sean that cut my hair. I told Sean, I said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This is the first time in my life I don't like a superstar that can actually play. Because I used to like Kawhi. I can't fucking stand him now, bro. Like I just can't stand him. Because you found this the year you finally want to play. Like you finally want to play ball again. Like, bro, Like all them years we watched the NBA, and you play the first 3 games of the series, and then you go out for the rest of the playoffs. That shit be weird as fuck to me, bro. Like,
Hey, that's still possible. That's still on the table.
I know that's why I said I don't fuck with it. But like I say every time, everything we do it on God. Everything I do it on God. When I do with these 2 crazy motherfuckers, we do it on God. I'm Young Money Bad News, the co-CEO of the Star Money Click, #1 rap in the world, and I am also BMC for life. That is 1-5, the owner of Punish Me Vodka, who sponsors every show we do. He is also the co-CEO of the Star Money Click, the #1 producer in the world. That's Jimmy 2 times, the resilient 49er fan and the hopeful Oklahoma Sooner fan, my brother from another mother. We was the On God podcast. Y'all stay prayed up. Y'all get y'all money this week, and y'all have a good day. We out.
Getting fired
Assalamu alaikum.
is they suck.